Tyrians, we have news. Let's read it. Our approach to playable species in Guild Wars 3. Learn about our approach to playable species at launch and beyond from August 5th, 2026. Hello, fellow Tyrians. Today we're going to kick off conversations around one of the hottest topics we've seen being discussed across the Guild Wars community since the announcement of the game. It's time to talk about playable species in Guild Wars 3. Note, while we've previously used the term playable races for Guild Wars 2, over time we felt that it didn't accurately describe the biological differences between the peoples of Tyria, so we'll be using playable species for Guild Wars 3 going forward. How many playable species for launch in Guild Wars 3? Alright, with the setup done, let's begin by confirming one detail. Guild Wars 3 will launch with 4 different playable species. 2 of these species will be ones that you've been able to play in previous Guild Wars games, humans and Asura. The third is a species you've met before that will be playable for the first time, our awesome bear people, the Kodan. The fourth is a new species whose story connects deeply to Or's past, but has been lost to history. You'll have to wait to find out more about them in the future. Starting next week, we'll tell you more about the lore of each species and what makes them unique in Or during our timeline in upcoming blogs penned by members of our studio's narrative team. Different approaches for different games. In Guild Wars Reforged, we focused on the story of humanity, starting in Ascalon and later expanding to allow players to create human characters from Cantha and Ilona. The game and the stories it told were human-focused, and so the roster of playable species was never expanded beyond humans. In Guild Wars 2, we introduced 5 different playable species: humans, Asura, Norn, Char, and Sylvari. The species were built with bespoke personal stories, environments, cities, animations, and cosmetic options. This investment helped make each species feel distinct and aligned with our high-level story theme of Tyria's species being separated at first, but having to band together to succeed. It also established a scope and quality bar that made adding another species a major cross-disciplinary undertaking. Meeting that same quality bar for an additional species would require substantial work across narrative, world art, animation, character art, and other systems. This has made adding new species incredibly difficult to prioritize alongside the other content and features we continue to build for Guild Wars 2. For Guild Wars 3, we're once again focusing on picking the playable species for launch that best align with the stories and themes of the game. The 4 species you'll be able to play as are central to the story, cultures, and conflicts we'll explore in Or at launch. Our focus is on making each of them feel deeply rooted in the world. You'll note I said 4 playable species at the launch of the game. This wording is very important as we're taking a different approach to building playable characters for Guild Wars 3 in order to support expanded options in the future. Designing for future flexibility. To help tell the stories we want to tell in Guild Wars 3, we are approaching development from the beginning with the goal of adding more playable species in the future. The story of the game for launch is a unified one, with all our playable characters operating under the Veil Warden banner across the vast wilderness and pockets of civilization in Or. On the technical side, everything about how we build playable species, including animation systems, rigs, and clothing, is being carefully examined to ensure the systems can be expanded. This means that if a species you are eager to play isn't in Guild Wars 3 at launch, there is always a chance we might add them in the future. The only exception would be a species with an extreme body silhouette that would require extensive, unique custom support that can't leverage the systems we've built. For example, playable Forgotten, with their 4 arms and serpentine body, they're not a viable option. Apologies to the community member who proposed that one recently. Play what you love. While evaluating lessons from playable species in MMOs and deciding how to approach them in Guild Wars 3, we identified one additional area we will take a firm stance on up front. We are carrying forward a principle that has been important in Guild Wars 2, The species you choose should express your character's identity and fantasy, not determine the most powerful way to play. There will be no statistical or mechanical differences between different playable races. We don't want players to feel they have to choose a specific character model to get a certain power advantage for their characters, and we'd rather you just play what you love. We realize many RPGs approach this differently, and it works great for them, but we feel like for Guild Wars, this is the right approach for us. Looking ahead. So that's our kickoff for Playable Species in Guild Wars 3 and the approach we'll be taking at launch and beyond. We're really excited for you to meet these species you'll be able to play at launch, and we're just as excited to explore the opportunity to introduce new options to the game in the future. Next week, you'll hear from our narrative team, who will be introducing the first of our 4 playable species and telling you more about what makes them unique and different in the timeline and setting of our game world. Until next time, may the 6 watch over you. Colin. So there you have it. If you noticed in the concept image at the top, we see 3 distinct species. What do you think will be the 4th on launch? Colin also emphasized on launch and revealed that they have plans to add more in the future. What do you think those will be? Let's talk about it in the comments. Like if you like, subscribe. Goodbye.